Hey, yo, good evening. Welcome to Blockchain Banter episode 43. Bloody hell, 43. 43 weeks. 12 weeks away to becoming 1 year old. Holy moly. I just realized that. Sudden realization. Moment I said it. But yeah, anyway, welcome to Blockchain Banter episode 43. What an absolute banger of a show we got lined up for you this evening. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing really good, really good. Especially seeing as we definitely know this one will be recorded thanks to Crypto Pumps. He's recording for us live on his channel on YouTube. If you should definitely go subscribe to that. It's a brilliant channel. Crypto Pumps is a genuine guy as well. So yeah, definitely go subscribe to that. But yeah, really looking forward to this. Like I said last time, it was just incredible to have Igra Labs on and learning all about them. And yeah, now we can do it all over again, but this time recorded and have even more updates, which is going to be fantastic. So really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited as well. I've been looking forward to this for a couple of weeks now since we've had it in place for a little while. I've just the days have been ticking by and coming up to the lead up to today, and yeah, I'm really excited to dive into what we discussed in the last show, which was not recorded, and I cannot remember most of the stuff that we talked about. So this is what excites me. At least we have some place to reference back to when trying to quote some of the things that are going to be talked about today.
And also, I think Crypto Pumps is using a iPhone, so hopefully that won't get in the way. Because I know you said it was Elon Levendi, but we all know it was the Android.
Oh, there we go. Jeez. Yeah, it's not even 2 minutes in.
I thought I'd get it out of the way early anyway, just while the audience or the room's warming up. So I thought I'd get it out of the way super early. But let's say hello to Ashton. Ashton, how are you doing?
Fantastic, man. Thanks for having me here, like always. And I got nothing to complain about. It's been an exciting couple days in Nacho Nation.
Yeah, awesome. It's been. I've been keeping an eye on things, especially with Swap as well. All your updates there, it's fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. We're just excited for the gate listing to the actual trading to go live this Wednesday. But I'm also just as excited to hear more about Igra Labs and what we can build on their L2.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm so sorry to disturb Ashton. Chris, what did you say Crypto Pumps is using?
I mean, if he's smart, probably an iPhone, but yeah.
Check the Jumbotron for a sec.
I actually can't see anything up there. It's excuse me, terrible.
He's actually using the proper phones. Oh my God, Crypto Pumps coming out of nowhere. Amazing. Thanks for that win, bro. Nice and early.
He only does this because I say Crypto Pumps. That's the only reason he does it. I know he's got an iPhone. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I think the direction, if everyone's happy with it, with Igra Labs today is, if someone's got a question, then please just ask, because I think what's really important about these AMAs is putting questions to bed, if you know what I mean. Like, ask the questions you've got. If you've got any concerns or just queries, just ask them. It'll be fantastic because you've got Igra Labs here. They will answer your questions for you. And what that normally does, even if you think it's a silly question, it really isn't. Ask the questions, and what it will tend to do is it will help a lot more people that probably had the same questions but didn't want to ask. So please, if you're listening in our audience and X, type the questions in the comments, put your hand up, you can come up on stage and ask questions. That's no problem. Like I said, while you've got these the big brains here, ask the questions away. And also, if you are listening to Crypto Pumps live stream, then just ask the questions there too, and he'll relay them back to us. So yeah, just make sure you get your questions in. That is the main thing. I think I've got first up. I've got Dennis. Dennis, how are you doing?
Hi guys, fine. Yeah.
Awesome. Excited to have you back for sure, man.
Yes, I'm also excited. Yeah.
Good. And Pavel, how are you doing, sir?
Hi, excited to be here. And just a very important announcement to start from. I'm using iPhone, so just to get this out of the way as well.
I told you. Yes, I told you. Because to be honest with you, Pavel, I'm really glad you said that because
And listen, guys, no, you don't understand. Like,
On the
I have
button,
two
on the
iPhones
button.
here and a Mac. Okay, two. Yeah. Okay.
Always a topper. Always
I
a topper, Dennis.
don't let this Android bullshit near me. Yeah.
all right, this is a first. This is a first here. Everybody now knows there are more iPhone users in Igra Labs than there are Android users.
No. Listen to
We didn't
Mike
get
now.
to
Yeah.
me yet. We didn't
Yeah.
get to me yet. It's not my turn yet.
Mm.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
go,
I
Mike.
hate iPhone
Celebrate.
so much that like my hatred consumes both Pavel's and Dennis's Macs and iPhones like 3 times, and I still gonna hate Apple. So no, Igra Labs is 100% Android. Don't listen to anyone.
Oh dear, you've really hurt Ashton's feelings. Although I do feel sometimes because I heard as well, Jonathan and Shy also use Androids, and it was starting to concern me a little bit because I thought, oh no, if all of these like computer scientists, really intelligent people use Androids, maybe I'm.
They do. They do. They absolutely do. They can't handle iPhones and Apple because like iPhones and Apple. Sorry, I'm shit talking your favorite tech company, but I have to because you asked. iPhone and Mac, they make you go the way that Steve Jobs thinks is right for you, while Android and Linux let you go the way you know is good for you. And you know what's good for you way better than Steve Jobs.
So, did you hear that, Ashton? We've been sold the American dream, and it's called the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it.
All right. First of all, whoa, that was a statement. Holy crap. Uh, but second of all, I kind of agree with him actually, and it makes sense. I do use an iPhone, but it's mainly because I have teenage daughters and they make fun of me if my text bubbles are not blue. But I do prefer using Linux on a computer as well for the same reasons Mike said.
Oh
So
my
I
god,
don't
it's
know.
all
I kind
coming
of
out.
straddle the line.
It's Mike. What have you done? You're a legend. It's all coming out. These diehard iPhone users are admitting they're using Android.
I didn't say that.
Oh, you might as well.
Yeah,
Might as well.
let's not get too
Yeah.
Might as well.
hasty.
I'll
Slow
slow
down.
I have utmost respect for Mike, but I still like my iPhone.
I really just want my kids
I'd
to be nice
say
to me.
if Android or Linux didn't have a user interface, I would be using them all day. Okay, well through command line, it's perfect. Okay, I prefer Linux on the server, right? Yeah, but whenever there is a user interface, I want to puke when I look at Android. Yeah.
So it's literally just a UI issue for you, Dennis.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. It's just that this nerd engineer types they have no appreciation for good design at all. Okay, and they make you tinker endlessly, with like just trying to make this thing work. Okay, and then whatever.
Yeah, we're
I,
just practical. We don't care how it looks.
no. It's not even about the looks. Okay, it's about I don't know enabling your sound card on Linux, so it will finally work. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't have time for this. Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
get
it
you.
looks like
I
we've
get
put
you.
that to bed. iPhone definitely is the best thing, even though we all respect Mike Zach's opinion. Um, but iPhone is the best. So we can now move on to Igra Labs and what you guys have been working on. I saw one of your posts recently. It was fantastic, actually. It was a video to show people how the engineering of Igra is going to actually work. And I think, see, for me, I'm a visual learner, so things like that really do help. So yeah, have you got any more updates and how things are going, and with your DevNet as well, and when you're planning on to release DevNet to the public?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
thanks for the kind words. Although we've got some mixed feedback from people who wanted this video to be less technical, and I completely understand that. And it was aimed to be like a little bit more on complex side of things, because we wanted to like explain, finally explain what we're building, at least basic building blocks, not in terms of ultimate benefits for users, but how this thing work. So yeah, was a tech explainer. So we're going to have more product-oriented materials in the future. So this is something I wanted just to respond to one of the questions I was getting in my inbox. And yeah, so DevNet is going great. Like kudos, like really really big things are cooking in the development team. I think we're on time. Mike Zach will tell you more about that, but yeah, we're going to have this invite-only DevNet 1st of April. It's not going to be a joke, I hope. So that's that's the first thing. And then right after, we're going to start working on the first testnet. We don't have a name for this just yet, but yeah, we're going to have it really soon, because DevNet 1 sounds a little bit dull. So we should
so
have
it will
come up
be
with
DevNet 2. Okay.
yeah, that's
Okay.
really creative. Yes, I love it. Yeah, DevNet 2. DevNet
No,
point one.
I forgot.
You had a name.
I
You had a
I
name for
invented
that.
all these names already.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll
Yes.
call it
Shoot.
by the name of the ships. Okay, like the types of ships. Okay, I call this the existing DevNet trireme. Okay, like this ancient Greek thing. Okay, then we'll move to, I think, galley, like Venetian galley, and then maybe to Dromon, and then maybe to Caravel or Karak or something like this. Yeah, well, I have all this idea for ideas for the names. Yeah, so we'll choose some cool names for the ships.
I absolutely love the boat theme that you've got in this as well. Because obviously, if you go to Igra Labs website, you obviously see you're all listed as nautical theme, like cabin boy and things like that. Where did that actually come from?
It was a kind of internal joke and my idea, but it's a good metaphor. It's a good. How to say? I thought of it because I always thought of that what we call startups in the modern age, in the tech age. Okay, it always kind of existed. Yes, and one of the early examples of this is our ships in the age of discovery and everything. Yes, it was. It was very similar to what startups are doing. Okay, you get together a team of crazy explorers. Okay, you get some funding. You launch a ship and you go to nobody knows where to discover nobody knows what. Okay, and hopefully bring bring back the goods and the profit and stuff. Okay, so it's kind of nice metaphor for what we are doing.
Oh, yeah, I think that works really well. And yeah, thanks for the explanation. Yeah, with regards to your testnet as well, because is it true that Igra actually is means ceiling in I'm not sure what language, to be honest with you.
A roof, roof. It means
Roof.
roof or upper floor in Aramaic.
It's a level 2, there's level 1 and then there's like the level above. So that's Igra.
So if you went like another level up, a level 3, is there a word for that in Arabic or Aramaic?
No, the Aramaic people, they could only build 2 stories. The technology for 3 stories wasn't there yet. I'm joking. I have no idea.
I'm afraid it's something about heaven. It's it's this layer we're not touching just yet, but yeah, let's it's a good idea actually. Yeah, we should start thinking about layer 3. Someone asked me, yeah, guys, you building layer 2. It's so 2018. Let's build layer 3 already.
Testnet heaven. Incredible. Awesome. So so it's really good that things are obviously going really well with the DevNet that you're working on at the moment. And like you said, on April 1st, and let's hope it's not an April Fool's joke, like you said, that you'll be launching out to the public testing. So that would be incredible. Do you have people lined up ready to test on that? Because I know we had Zealous Swap on here previously, and I know like you're nothing to do with them, but they're obviously building out their own decks that they're looking to use Igra or use on Igra Labs. Have you heard from them or anybody else who wants to test out on Igra Labs DevNet?
Yeah,
So,
we did.
yeah, but
Yep.
I also kind of I'm really happy Ashton is here, okay? Because I wanted to reach out to them, okay? Because they are one of the teams that we want to invite, even if they they didn't reach to us yet, but I want to invite them to if they want to explore the possibilities of launching on Igra.
Yes, absolutely. And I was actually going to message you about that. So thanks for the call out, Dennis. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
So that's exactly we wanted to use this opportunity to shout out to builders. So we do already have several excellent teams who wants to test out our stuff and provide feedback, but we definitely need more. So I repeat that. I already said that on previous space. Like whoever want to build on Igra, EVM compatible protocol, any EVM compatible protocol will do. Like we're happy to connect, have a little talk, just get to know each other, because we obviously want to have some people with some experience, although sometimes beginners also can build some excellent stuff which seniors can't. And yeah, and probably if not for this specific iteration, but we want to build obviously our ecosystem of great projects who will build on Igra. So yeah, reach out to me or Dennis in Twitter, to the Igra account, or to my personal account. All DMs are open. We'll get back to you.
Yeah, well, we still haven't announced this like officially. Okay, so we're it's like treat as a pre-announcement, but we'll make probably in a few days a public call for participation, something like that. Yes.
Yes.
On the site, on our Twitter account, and everything. Yes, but you since you're already here, okay, you have our personal invitation now, okay, to talk to us and.
Yeah, because Ashton obviously is with Nacho and they're partnered with Zealous Swap. So it's a really good partnership actually. And to be honest with you, having Zealous Swap on, it was great to hear about what they're trying to build out. And I know that they're just as excited to want to get on Igra Labs as quick as possible. So yeah, I think you've definitely got someone there to help you test.
Yeah, they look like very interesting, serious people. Yes, yeah. I want to remind that if there will be like tons of interest, okay, we will not be able to accommodate everybody at this point, the next couple of weeks, okay. So we'll need to pick up a few teams, okay, for this stage, okay. So just so you understand.
But
Yeah,
don't
so
worry,
it's
we're
like
going to have
sorry.
more stuff. It's not exactly sorry. Yeah, sorry, come on. My microphone playing things with me. Yeah, you were saying?
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say. So it really is. If you're wanting to be, if you're listening in the audience and you are a developer and you're wanting to build out on Igra Labs, it sort of seems like a first come first serve scenario at the moment because obviously you've got limited space. So get yourselves talking to Dennis, Pavel, Mike, anyone at Igra to book your slot on the DevNet. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that. Yes, and by the next DevNet/testnet time release, we'll be more open. Okay, yeah.
Amazing, thank you. And sorry, Pavel, I think I actually cut you off. Were you in the middle of saying something? I think he's dropped. Oh dear. Okay, no worries.
Said he had a problem with the microphone. So.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, so there's I've got some questions obviously lined up already, but there was one thing that I've noticed in that well, a lot of, it's not so much concern, but a lot of people are asking questions about the wrapped Kaspa that obviously is going to be on Igra Labs as well. And I think I reckon this is the questions are coming from because obviously with what's happened recently with a certain sex who had their own version of wrapped Kaspa, it's
Right.
obviously depegged. And I think so. Some people are getting a bit worried about the whole wrapped Kaspa scenario, but maybe you could dig in a little deeper on that and what your version of wrapped Kaspa is going to be going to look like. And obviously, it's going to be a different concept though with what you guys are doing and what the sex in question actually did, as far as I know.
Well, as much as we're concerned, wrapped Kaspa that's going to be on top of Igra Labs network will be provably backed by real Kaspa that is locked in a smart contract that is verifiable and has the security of the block DAG to make sure that it is verifiable. However, there might be a few first stages where the security guarantees that we are able to provide for this locked Kaspa are not as good as the security guarantees you can get for other things on the block DAG. So you might want to be cautious with the amounts of money you lock in there. But as long as you don't, I don't know, gamble with millions, it should be fine and it will be secure the same way as a proof of stake coin is secure or something on that level.
Can you hear me now? Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry, Pavel, we lost you. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Sorry for this malarkey with microphone. So, yeah, I just wanted to add to that obviously what Mike's mentioned related to testnet and the early stages of mainnet, but the real thing is going to be deployed with the full power of Kaspa block DAG consensus. So we're aiming for wrapped Kaspa, which we call ICAS, just to also, kind of separated from wrapped Kaspa, which currently exists on the market and has nothing to do with Igra or any other layer 2, which is being built. So this ICAS is going to be backed by native Kaspa 1-to-1, and yeah, it's essentially what's called a canonical version because it's going to be built and supported by consensus of Kaspa and not by some multisig which controls the minting contract or what's not. So this is what we're aiming for, and it's very important to also explain, like, because we're getting lots of questions about tokenomics of the project. So people keep asking, what's the gas token? So it's Kaspa. And we're still researching the possibility of using native Kaspa for gas, by the way, but there are some quite complex aspects to that. So I think the realistic plan is we're going to launch with wrapped Kaspa, ICAS, which again will be canonically bridged from Kaspa L1. And I also want to say several words about architecture, if it's not to not to bore you too much, but just to get on the same page. So we have the so-called full nodes, which are servers essentially running specialized software. And people keep asking which kind of software, how big machines should be, if they should be really beefy. No, it should be that mid-tier machines, not some crazy AWS monsters, because we want as many people, as many possible people to participate in Igra network, right?
Yeah, I can give you more or less concrete numbers.
Yeah, Dennis
Uh,
is responsible for that, so he can give you more details just
no,
from the
no,
field.
just it's it will be now we have we zero on the requirements which are very similar to Kaspa node requirements. So it will be about 16 gig of memory, a few cores. You know, 1 terabyte disk is a plenty. Okay, fast SSD. You know, and you're good to go. It's more or less the same requirements as current Kaspa nodes. Okay.
Let's say if you want to,
Does this requirement include the Caspa node, or this is just for the Igra node? And
No,
then
it's just
no,
for
we're talking
EVM.
just for Igra now. Of course,
okay, so for together you will need 32 gigs. That's still something that a household computer might have.
yes.
Yeah,
Also, if you
and
need,
but
if you want
also
to download,
you don't have to run your own Kaspa node. Okay, you can use one of the public nodes if you
All right.
if you are so constrained by resources. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm a maximalist that I have to verify my own
No,
transactions.
of course, it's better. Yes, yeah.
No, actually, I don't.
you can run your stuff if you like. You can have your Kaspa node and everything. That's the proper crypto maxi way. And also, if you have a really strong machine, you will just sync faster, right? So Igra node will sync faster for you, and you have smoother user experience. But again, it's not required for running the node. Because that's about decentralization, and decentralization actually depends on how, what's the word, egalitarian, how if your requirements can be actually supported by normal people, not just by corporations. I think that's what we're aiming for. And so that's we want lots of people running our software. And obviously there is a question of incentivization. We want to incentivize node operators. And for this, we're going to have our utility token. Name is not super original, it's Igra. And if a node operator will hold Igra while submitting L2 transactions to L1, and if these transactions obviously will be accepted, because there's some people just not really good in running software. I myself not ideal. I can tell you that. I'm not going to run all the patches, all the changes, all the configuration on my node software. So it may happen that my transactions won't be accepted by L1. So in this case, I won't be rewarded. But if I'm really top-notch operator and my transactions on L1 and everything's fine and people are happy, then I will be rewarded in Kaspa, in wrapped Kaspa. So again, just to make it super clear, there are two tokens, wrapped Kaspa and Igra. And Igra is not a gas token. It's a utility token just needed to increase our network decentralization. So I think that's very important to kind of get off the way also. Not as important as iPhone, but it's still important.
Yeah, basically you can think of it's just more or less it's the same as staking on Ethereum. Okay, staking will provide security for example, exit bridge. Yes, if you want to move your wrapped Kaspa back to Kaspa, okay, before ZK, you will need this mechanism to secure the exit bridge. Okay, so it's one of the uses of this token as a utility. And the same idea applies as in Ethereum, or how stakers earn. Okay, they're earning for the security services they provide to the network.
And is so because Kaspa hasn't got ZK yet. Are you going to be basically running an optimistic roll up rather than a ZK roll up at first? And then is that heavier on data storage?
That's a great question, because it's give us an opportunity to again tell this magic words. We based rollup, not an optimistic based rollup. It means we do sequencing on the base layer, and our consensus is fully rooted in the base layer consensus. It's a great deal for us because we don't have to build any consensus mechanism, which is hard. Just I think consensus engineering, consensus design is one of the hardest problems in decentralized ledgers, and it's not easy to solve. So again, Kaspa solved it for us, so we're not going to reinvent the wheel. And we build in based rollup, which inherits consensus and liveness from the base layer. So that's important. And it's not ZK, so it means yes, it will require some storage to build a full node, but by the moment we'll have too much storage, ZK opcode and ZK rollup will be there. Like we have time for that. Again, Dennis can give you specific numbers, but I think we're good at least for a year or two in terms of like even if we're going to have stable 5,000 TPS, real TPS, which is really good news for Kaspa and for Igra. Even in this case, we're not going to use all the storage for our nodes like in 1 year time at least.
Yes.
I also want to. Sorry.
Sorry.
Well, I wanted to add that for some use cases, zero knowledge will probably wouldn't be valid anyway. So the non-encrypted based rollup still remains even when zero knowledge launches. Since zero knowledge usually doesn't have that much bits of security as ordinary signatures, ordinary Schnorr signatures, and therefore there will be users, usually the biggest players that have a lot of money on top of the smart contracts, that might prefer to use a rollup without zero knowledge anyway.
Yes. At the current advancement of the ZK field, I estimate the security of the keys under zero knowledge scheme to be, let's say, 128 bits, okay, instead of 256, okay. It's a really big reduction in security. So yes, for many use cases, this level of security will be unacceptable. Yes, so this and this is why we will continue running even in the future the two networks in parallel. They will help secure each other.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's very interesting as well. And so do we know that the ZK opcodes are coming to Kaspa fairly soon? Like, is there a timeline for that?
Saturn never gives hard guarantees when. Okay, yes. Okay. There is, as far as I know, there is no definite kind of timeline in the sense like they finally announced for the crescendo. Yes, that we know that end of April, boom, there will be crescendo. Yes, but they didn't promise that yet. Okay, but my estimate is sometime end of this year, maybe early next year. I don't know. The way I know their speed of development and testing and stuff.
I'm not even sure if it's about speed of development. To be honest, I'm watching the recent developments in zero knowledge area. It's super cool stuff. It's really, I think it's top-notch computer science, but it doesn't look like it 100% ready for the for the prime time in terms of formats. People still argue, and really smart people argue about which ZK knowledge format format of the proof should be used for production grade applications. And I think it just needs some time, for dust to settle, so people will finally, people who understand this stuff will come to conclusions like what should be used, because security is important. Top-notch technology important, but security is more important than that. So I don't know. I don't have an answer for these questions, but to be honest, I wouldn't hold breath for this year.
We'll see, but good thing is this doesn't stop us in the slightest. Okay, so we
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say that. I mean, it would be great when the ZK opcodes come, but it doesn't stop Igra at all. So, yeah, it's just.
No, I just say how it affects us practically. Yes, for example, with ZK, for example, with the first problem is the exit bridge. Okay, how do you move your ICAS to back to CAS? Okay, so currently it will be secured by the staking mechanism of Igra L2 nodes. Okay, and whenever ZK opcodes are ready, okay, this part, the second part, exit part of the canonical bridge will become available. Okay, and it will be better security to use that. Okay, then okay, so we'll switch to that. For example, for this part of the system. Yes, but in any case, the system will work either way.
Awesome. And just touching on that again, just circling back to the ICAS and how it so is the CAS that's 1-to-1 with ICAS. Did you say that's actually stored on the DAG itself, or on Kaspa's layer 1 itself? And so it basically is verifiable as well. People can keep an eye on the 1-to-1 ratio. So because I think a lot of people worry, like with the sex that depegged from the sex's rap Kaspa that depegged. There's been rumours
Yeah,
that maybe they
absolutely. It's a
hypothecated it and stuff.
Yeah, very easy to verify. This Kaspa will be locked in a number of UTXOs. So on layer 1, everybody can have a look at this UTXOs, see how much Kaspa is locked there, okay, and verify it against how much iCaspa exists on the layer 2. Okay, it's 100% transparent.
And it's also 100% decentralized, as in there's nobody holding that money. There's no like Tether or whatever exchange that holds all the money that's backing up the ICAS. It's a smart contract that you can read and verify and know by which rules it works without anybody being able to take your money and confiscate it or whatever.
And I think that's really, really important. And I think that's going to put a lot of people at ease that are listening to this, because obviously the whole thing about Rap Kaspa, like I said, with the sex that's depegged, their Rap Kaspa that's depegged. I think it's spooked some people anyway, because maybe they don't understand, or maybe they're thinking that this may be a similar scenario. But from what I can gather, it's not at all. With your ICAS being completely decentralized and verifiable, that's going to put a lot of people at ease, I think. So that's really, really good. Awesome. Levendi, have we got any questions that have come through at all from either Crypto Pumps or from our spaces?
Yeah, we had one from Coda. I pinned it up in the top. Give me 1 second. I was just making another post. So yeah, Coda of Stuff has asked, who made the animation from your last post? That looked awesome.
I just posted link to this guy. Like, yeah, can totally recommend.
It was really, really well done. It looked.
Thank you.
Really good. So and like I think things like that are going to help a lot of people in the wider community. Because, like I said, not everybody that's in Kaspa is computer scientists or even know how to switch a laptop on. I'm one of them. But and like I said, I really learn much better visually. So yeah, more videos like that would be amazing, I think, anyway. Awesome. So I do have some questions that have already been pre-written, so by Levendi actually, which is fantastic. So I'll just start asking them here. I only say that because when I start reading them, it's obvious that I'm reading something. I can't just make it sound natural. So, so the first question, like, how did you basically, how did you get into crypto in the first place? Like, what drew you to it? Was it like, for example, was it Bitcoin that first drew all of you to crypto, or what was your first sort of touch with cryptocurrency?
So I heard from somewhere that you can order weed from the internet, and for that you had to get this coin that's called Bitcoin. And then I got some, and I ordered weed from the internet, and I got weed from the internet, and that was really cool. At a time where it was very hard to get weed in Israel. But then I started to read about what is this coin and how it works. And then it made a lot of sense. Even before it made a lot of sense technologically, it made a lot of sense ideologically. I really like this idea of getting rid of the banks, getting rid of the middleman, banking the unbanked, a coin that is nobody's. It doesn't belong to any country. This all was very cool. And then I read the white paper, and I was blown away by the technology is not that complicated. It's pretty you need to take a day to read it really well, but you don't need any prior knowledge. You don't need to be a PhD to understand how it works. And that was it blew me away, and I started reading up about everything. It was I remember it was a little bit before Litecoin launched, so I think 2013 or something. It was on the original Silk Road before they closed that operation down.
So you was on Silk Road version 0 before Silk Road even come out.
Yeah, it was great. They had this community of people that were doing random orders from everybody, selling hallucinogenic drugs, and they were testing and making sure that whatever you order from there is pure thing. And it was the most wholesome drug dealership you could ever see. But then the FBI came and destroyed that, and now you have markets that disappear with all the money all the time.
It's strange, isn't it? Because I see this with Kaspa as well. It's giving back truly free markets again. Because what we live in now is crony capitalism and things like this. It's not real. It's not true free markets. Whereas I think blockchains and block DAGs like Bitcoin and Kaspa are actually allowing people to get a sort of free market back again, like truly free markets. And I think that's to me that's a big deal. I quite like it a lot.
It is a big deal. It's a huge deal. We just have to make it happen.
I'm trying, man. I'm a small bricklayer in Kent, and I'm trying my hardest.
We all are. We all are. But everybody is laying a tiny brick. We will build a wall.
100%, sir.
You're not that small, Chris.
Medium-sized bricklayer.
Yes, medium.
Yeah. And Dennis, what about you? What brought you to crypto?
It's basically this kind of set of anarchist predispositions. Okay, but I came to it fairly late. I remember how to say. even though my friends, even in 2000, also maybe 11, 12, 13, tried to interest me in this. Okay, I back then, how to say, I start. I don't know how to. I don't remember exactly. I don't know how to say it. Yes, I thought very interesting, but my life was back then very chaotic and stuff, and I had too much other work, and so I didn't get into deeply into it. Into the technology. Okay, I understood the idea, the implications for the way money works back then, but I didn't get into the technology back then. Okay, I actually my first crypto project was proper was Igra Labs. Yes, before that, I played with some ICOs in the 2017 and stuff. As but developing something in the space, I only started in Igra Labs, basically.
I mean, what a way to start, though! Like a sort of a professional career in crypto. What a place to start, Dag Labs.
No, absolutely. No, it was an amazing stroke of luck because this years I actually got so sick and tired of the whole high tech field. Okay, that I had I had a kind of project company for many years, and a couple of years before that, I was just so fed up that I just closed it. I went to live in the north of Israel in small kibbutz for a year because my brain was fried. Okay, and then I went to art school to study experimental music, and 2 years I studied that. I was for whole 3 years out of technology. Yes, and then friends came and said, "Okay, we heard we need your help. Okay, with your old team. With we need to write lots of stuff. Okay, so can you do?" So I said, "Okay, fine. Yeah." Yeah, basically it was by totally by mistake that I went into it, and I was doing music and didn't want to touch computers at this point.
What a mistake that is, eh? The ripple effect off of that mistake to where we are now. Holy moly.
Yeah, best mistake ever. I mean, I think it was Mike actually who said last time that the interview he had for Dag Labs from Jonathan was one question: do you play chess? Yes.
No, I
No,
said
that was Sutton.
Was it
no,
Sutton?
Yeah,
no.
I don't think Jonathan interviewed me at all. We just like sat there and like gossiped about other coins. Like we explained to each other why everybody is a shitcoin, and we kind of agreed on that. And then I just had to wait until they incorporate and we can start working. Guy Korem, he was supposed to be the CEO, but he didn't end up being anything because he's a friend, but he had some disagreements with Jonathan about the pace and about the funding, so they parted their ways in a friendly way. But anyway, he did ask me a few questions, but that was more like he felt like he has to. With Jonathan, it was just like a meeting where we saw that we share the same vibe, and that was definitely enough.
And it was the same for me, and I said that this is the only like kind of formal question that Jonathan asked me as a kind of half joke. Okay, do you play chess? I said yes. He said okay, accepted. Come, yes, something like that. Yes, but yes, we had the other talk, but it was not a formal interview process, right? He's not a person like that to do these things, probably.
But I think that works better because a lot of like what I've seemed to have noticed, I've connected some dots. A lot of people that are highly intelligent seem to be, you need to be fluid and flow, and sort of like what you said, like you've got to have a bit of a vibe there, and you've got to be allowed to be creative. So I mean, it makes sense to me that he's quite. As long as he knows that you can do like everyone's going to be doing what needs to be done, it's all cool. So that's what it seems like to me anyway.
Right.
I think it's like if somebody is really passionate about something, you can feel it. If you are a passionate person as well, you can develop this feeling for it. If a person is faking this or not, and the moment you are passionate about, truly passionate about something, you will do a good job. And like uh, from my height of 38 years, I think uh, I can tell about a person if he's truly passionate about what he does or not. And I think based on that, Jonathan could say if the person will do a good job or not.
I mean, that makes perfect sense. Absolutely perfect sense. And Pavel, how did you land yourself into crypto?
Oh man, that's it's unbelievable. I just counted. It's almost okay, not 10. It's 9 years actually. So I was sitting in the office, the good office. Like I like the company, but still a little bit bored because mostly, not writing any code anymore, leading teams, and I needed some pet project. And my friend, he showed me not Bitcoin and not Ethereum because it wasn't there yet. It was NXT chain. I don't know if there are any dinosaurs in your audience who knows this name, but it was a really interesting project. Also proof of stake, like Ethereum, with some rudimentary smart contract capability. So I wrote first dApp in 2016. And then we made, so it was somewhat successful, but we never wanted to monetize it. So I went back to the office and forgot about the whole thing until 2017, when the same friend actually like hit me, gave me a little punch and told me I should pay attention. And I started to research things, and yeah, there's I've noticed I've missing a revolution, like the real revolution in software, in economy, in sociological way. It's yeah, it was a new wave. It was really amazing feeling. Like this thing is going to change the world in all sense. So yeah, bought me some Bitcoin. Also, like I have to admit, like it's but my first ICO was actually Tezos. I just talked about this earlier today with someone in Twitter, that I really believe this is going to be like the ultimate smart contract platform. Interesting thing, it's still around. It's a great project, but yeah, from product perspective and everything else, it wasn't much to Ethereum, unfortunately. But yeah, I still think they were better in terms of technology. So yeah, in 2017, I left the office and yeah, I never came back. And since then, doing all Web3 stuff, building companies, projects, yeah, until last summer when yeah, this this guy Dennis came to me with another guy, and they told me again I should pay attention. This time to Kaspa. So you see, it's always someone. It's always someone telling me things. It's some, I'm I'm missing trends. I'm missing trends. That's not good. But this time, I really think we're onto something. Again, it's not about technology. We all know that best technology never wins. So we really need to put more human side to that. And I really hope we should follow the same ethos Bitcoin did in the past, and trying to build things for people which are unstoppable and scalable and censorship resistant. I know everybody says that, but it's our team is actually like doing like we practice what we preach. We all in crypto, not for, no, like for a long time. You can hear that, and people were working on kind of heavy lifting before Igra. Like I'm really proud to have people on the team who is actually able to build project end to end. Everybody, like everyone in Igra is entrepreneur, so everyone can build a company, can build a project. So where you have all these individuals together in the same room, it's really like it's electrifying feeling. Like when we had this hackathon / workshop actually building the first proof of concept, what was actually a cornerstone of Igra, you can see like how many the great people are there, because you also have great debates, like people argue and people are really loud, people have opinions, and they not just follow the orders. It's like have this band
We
of
get emotional. We sometimes get
yes,
really emotional about like some piece of
exactly.
code, and then like a person that listens from the side thinks we're like angry at each other. Uh, and it does sound like people scream a lot, people shout, people get angry. Uh, but then we all understand that it's all tech, and like it's all good fun.
Yeah,
But yeah, it can get really emotional from time to time.
it's exactly like the band, like you have a band which there are super bands which made from stars, like from rock stars. I think what was this Traveling Wilburys?
Oh,
When they
Traveling
have
Wilburys is my favorite. Yes.
yeah, who they say Clapton, right? Ozzy
No,
Osbourne.
no, no.
Who
No, it was
who
Harrison,
was there?
Roy Orbison, Bob Dylan,
Orbison.
and Tom
Yes,
Petty.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Tom Petty, exactly. So I can imagine that they're like when they playing together, when they jam together, it was also super. It was cool, but very emotional. So that's sometimes the feeling I'm getting from our gatherings and things and stand-ups and what's not. But it's all for good. So yeah, sorry. It was a long answer to the short question.
No, I love it, and I think I actually quite like seeing that as well. Like you said, the passion that comes out, and you're obviously working on things. But I think that's like you said. Ultimately, it's a really good thing because that's the point of it's like science, isn't it? You it has to be peer reviewed. It has to be put out there, and it has to be stress tested. So any code you're writing, anything you're researching, should be stress test. And I could only imagine if you've been working on something for and giving a lot of your time and effort to a bit of code or a bit of research, and someone comes along and says, "Actually, I don't think that will work." I could only imagine the explosions that would happen. But like you said,
No.
ultimately, it's for the good.
I have to correct that. Like that kind of criticism is really cool. It happens all the time, and we don't get attached to code. However, if somebody has an opinion that is different than yours, it's way worse than like iPhone versus Apple, because in iPhone versus Apple, you can buy an Apple, I will buy my Android, and that would be cool. But here we need to decide together what are we doing, and like a lot of stuff depends on that, and these debates can get really heated. In the end, we always resolve them where everybody is in agreement, and this is the code. It has to be understood that everybody has to be in agreement, and if somebody is not convinced, then we continue arguing until everybody is. But because we are people of science, and there is a truth that we are able to reach, we always end up where everybody agrees.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's so-called social layer. But also, I'm really happy that sometimes we just have some things in the code which enforce some conventions, so people don't have to argue about that. We just enforce them silently because it's impossible to argue about everything. And actually, the decentralized systems, programmable systems, they have a really this great property of tokenized contracts, right? Like tokenized decisions, actually enforcing decisions. Actually, this based rollup concept, which we like really want to promote, is a really great example. By just you have a layer which have to follow specific rules, and these rules are we have to sequence on layer one. It's not something we can hide. even if the whole team will be rogue and will be malicious and try to do something wrong and try to build something like just which only benefit us, we're only human, right? We can't do this because our code, which will be open sourced and audited, will show that we're doing something wrong. So by being based, for example, we just actually we also limit ourselves, but then we kind of remove this impediment, we remove this constraint, so we don't have to argue, we don't have to promise, or we don't have to convince market that we're good or bad, because this promise is fully programmed. It's programmed. It can be audited. That's what I like about decentralized systems. Like smart contracts in this regard are really great achievement, I think, in computer science. You finally can have your social layer programmed.
Not everything, no. But I can give you an example of a recent fight I just got in with Pasha. Okay, I'm pushing for more. I'm convinced that in the future, in the very near future, the majority of blockchain users will not be people. It will be autonomous AI agents. Okay, and I want to push the whole company towards that. Okay, building for them, making interfaces which are suitable for use by such agents. And Pasha is not convinced yet. And he argues with me that no, it's bullshit. Okay, don't want to give my money to. Don't trust this agent. Who do you think will use it? Whatever. Yeah, and so it's an ongoing fight now. Yes.
But I have a at least temporary solution for that, man. If amongst our audience, someone who listen to this space or will listen to this later, if there are people from good teams who's building this kind of systems, on-chain autonomous AI agents, they should approach us and talk to us, because Igra can be really great infrastructure for that. Like
I think I have a suggestion on how you can resolve this conflict. I think, Dennis, you have to write an AI, you have to create an AI whose mission is to convince Pavel. And if it is able to convince Pavel, then AI is sufficiently good to do what you said it's going to do on top of the block deck. And if not,
I
then
already
it's
have a
not.
great design off the top of my head. I give it some money, okay, and I will do it such it will bribe Pasha, okay. It will yes, it
All
will
right.
yeah. And for this I need interface into Kaspa, yes, for this agent, yes. So it can bribe, so it can have its own money to bribe him.
I can write the interface if you need to.
Good. Yes.
What's going on here?
Mate, this is awesome. You guys are creating live on the show, man. How's the code? Is it working already? Who's testing it? Let's do it.
Yeah.
I know these guys. They will write something like in one evening. That's the problem. They can do this. That's the thing. It's a real threat. What they just said. It's a real threat, man.
I'm not sure we're actually speaking to Pavel, Dennis, and Mike. We're just speaking to AI right now. And if you are, congratulations, Dennis, because you've done a fantastic job.
Yes. Yes.
Oh dear. I mean, like, so with you guys, is your incentive to sort of push crypto in general, like Kaspa? Because obviously this is why you're building Igra as well. You can see that Kaspa needs to have as many use cases as possible, and I'm assuming that's why you're doing it. But also, um, by doing this, is your incentive to because you believe in true decentralized crypto, like you believe in having monetary sovereignty, and do you see this is the direction we'll be going in the future?
I personally, yes, yes. For me, it's the main motivation. Yes, I I see the current financial system as the root cause of the majority of ills in our societies. Okay, and I want to continue what Bitcoin started in fixing this. And I think Bitcoin itself just cannot do it. Okay, it's it's too slow and it doesn't have programmability. Okay. And Kaspa is fast, but it doesn't have programmability. Okay, so and Igra is fast and has programmability. Okay, so yes, I'm here to continue Satoshi's mission in fixing the world.
I actually have a story about this, which is not as optimistic as like other things. Uh, Maybe a week after Kaspa launched, I was going on a train ride. I don't remember where, and I was reading Zhuangzi. It's a Taoist philosopher from ancient China, and he was telling a story about a city where the scholars have invented a great system that benefited everyone. And then came thieves and stole the government, so they stole that system, and now this great system benefits only the thieves. And the conclusion is that like smart people invent great things, and then assholes comes and ruin everything. Um, and this is like my great fear for all crypto. We will build something great, and then somebody will come and like everything will corrupt it. We know this happened to Bitcoin. We know that the ideology that Bitcoin stood for is no longer the ideology Bitcoin stands for. And it happens to everything. And I have a lot of fear for that. And I think this is why I'm working so hard, because I do want to do it properly. I think that somebody has to do it properly. And like many people have different incentives. Many people just want to make money, and it's very easy to like fall into this trap. And then I don't know. I have enough money. For me, it's more important that somebody makes it properly, and it's gotta be me, because who else?
Yeah, I love that.
I
And
also think.
Sorry.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think that what gives hope is that ideas are incorruptible. Okay, and Satoshi's idea is out of the box. Okay, and if even if for example Kaspa or Igra will become corrupted, okay, as a network, okay, the idea is there. Some other people who want to fix things will come and set up another system based on the same principles, okay, and continue the work. Okay, it's I don't think this idea is too strong. Okay, it cannot be corrupted completely. Okay, by as much as lots of interests want. Okay.
Amen.
Absolutely, Dennis. Well said. I totally agree. Once this idea is out of the box, once Satoshi Bitcoin white paper is there, everybody can build decentralized system. It won't be ideal, but you can build it. You can fork whatever you like and build in your community, and you will have your own parallel system. And many people does just that, and that's unstoppable. And we see our
Pavel,
work.
we can't hear you. You suddenly disappeared.
I can hear Pavel.
Yeah, I can hear him
Yeah.
too. I think.
Still yes.
Yeah.
I
Can
can
you
as
hear
well
Mike?
too.
Can still hear
You're
me?
good, Pavel.
Okay.
Okay, I think
Cool.
Mike, you might have a technical difficulty. If you want to drop down to listen and come back up, it should fix it.
Okay. So I was saying just we don't I don't see I personally don't see this work like being the paragon of anything. It's an element. It's a link in the greater chain. It's a block in the chain, but I think it's an important block. Like we want to build a design. We want to prove that this design is possible. We want to show that programmable system of this type is possible. We want to show that VM on BlockDAG is possible. So you can build programmable really fast and really secure chain secured with proof of work, and it will have the better user experience and also better security properties. And if we show that, then next generations will build even better systems, which will make governance to be afraid of other people.
Amen, man. That's exactly what. Well, I personally think needs to happen. But in regards to what Mike said, I mean, given enough time, I suppose it's sort of like the what is it, the Pareto principle, where like 20% is 80% and blah 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 blah. But it always seems to it does seem to eventually centralize to some degree. But like again, that's over a long time frame. And I actually saw a post by Jonathan the other day, and he quoted, I think it was Milton Friedman, and he says you need to make it profitable for bad people to do the right thing. And I think that is what, like, because we're always going to have evil, bad people in the world. And I mean, what's bad or good as well? We can get right into that sort of debate. But yeah, you're always going to have people that are wanting to do the wrong thing. But if you make it profitable for them to do the right thing, then hopefully everybody's a winner for at least a good amount of time. And I genuinely believe that things like Bitcoin and Kaspa are doing that. They have that ability. Like, even if you just took it down to sort of, if you want to make the world a greener place, well, the fact that miners are actually putting a lot of effort into mining these coins, they're incentivized to actually make it cheaper for them to do that. So when you start getting people that, I don't know, you may call them greedy, some people may call them greedy, that's a good thing, because they're going to start making greener energy, so they profit more. And I think, I think that's basically where, I think that's the beauty of proof of work.
Yeah, that's basically the whole premise of blockchains and DEX and everything, is to make the incentives in such a way that even if you are greedy, the best thing you can do for yourself, even if you are absolutely selfish, is the honest thing. And this is like the genius part of Bitcoin and everything that came after that.
Yeah, but how to say? We can have a look at all the at the concrete examples. So, for example, all this financial establishment, yes, Larry Fink, okay, who or I don't know, BlackRock and stuff, who how to say, the way let me gather my thoughts. The way I see it, what happened is that they were together with all the financial establishment, or the fiat money establishment. They were opposed, afraid of the Bitcoin idea. Okay, for many years, they wanted control. Okay, censorship, control, everything which having the financial system in their hands provided. But then suddenly, the way I see it, Larry Fink just thought, listen, I like money more than control. Okay, and I see that I can earn here. Okay, so okay, fine. Okay, I'm switching sides. Okay, I'm with Bitcoin now. Okay, because he saw a way to profit. Very well. Now, because their motivations for control didn't go anywhere. Okay, so now we are afraid that, for example, all this ETF shit is not backed by real Bitcoin and stuff. But see how landscape changed with this greedy decision by these motherfuckers. Okay, Bitcoin suddenly became acceptable. Okay, it's not the enemy of the state anymore. Okay, and the stuff. Okay, so it works. Greed works.
Yeah, it's one of the strongest incentives out there. And I think that, and again, that's the beauty of it. I think it's part and parcel. But like you said, in a weird way, like I hated when the ETFs come out with Bitcoin, because it just, again, it just shows you sort of sliminess of that side. I don't like that side of it. My whole point of, for me personally, my journey, the whole point of being in crypto is because I genuinely value my personal sovereignty, like my own monetary sovereignty. I don't want other people controlling my shit. I want to control my own stuff, and that's where my passion's driven from. So when ETFs come out, I thought, oh, for God's sake, like they're trying to get in this, but in a weird way, like you said, that actually added legitimacy to the everyday person. Now Bitcoin is okay because big hedge funds are lapping it up. So yeah, I mean, again, there's silver linings to everything. So yeah, I'm just for me, Kaspa is the one, because like Bitcoin's incredible, but Kaspa has just made Bitcoin. It's like Bitcoin on steroids. It's actually made it usable in a currency sense and or a monetary sense. So that's what I love about Kaspa.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it's very good that you're not obligated to hold Bitcoin through ETFs. If you want sovereignty, you just hold it, the real thing, and that's it. Okay. But you're not afraid to go to jail for holding it anymore, and this is good.
That's very true. Yeah. I can see,
Sometimes cashing it is still a problem, though.
Yeah.
what,
But they're always
sorry, I missed
changing.
that, Mike. What was that?
I said sometimes cashing it is still a problem. I have a lot of problems with my bank, but whenever I try to get some money out of crypto, so that could be a little bit better. But yeah, nobody will put you in jail at the very least.
Yeah, even Tornado Cash guy was released from jail. This is huge news. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because he spent a fair few years in there for obviously all the Tornado Cash stuff. But yeah, I think sentiment's definitely changing globally with regards to crypto, which I think again can only be a good thing, because I don't know, the hardest thing is educating people on why things need to be decentralized, because I think so many people now are just we personally, for me, I feel like we live in a bit of a nanny state where we are literally told not exactly what to do, but it's getting that way, if you know what I mean. It's very much,
in England specifically, right?
yeah, and I personally don't like the direction we're going. So the fact that I now have Kaspa, that's brilliant, because some people need to live in centralization, and I get that. They feel better with it. They don't want the responsibility of freedom of their money. They want to handle that, push that, or give that responsibility to someone else. I personally want another option of me being in control of my money. So I think now that I've got Kaspa and Bitcoin, it's given me that freedom and that option, and I like that. I like that feeling.
I think it's our job, and we're still far from there, but it is our job as the community and the developers to make it so that you will not have to give up any sense of security when you use cryptocurrencies. It should be as seamless and feel as safe and simple for the non-techie as it is, I don't know, swiping a credit card. And then anybody who is used to, I don't know, swiping his phone, it will feel for him just the same. It is just he will swipe his crypto wallet and get his groceries, and he will not feel any different. Only the fees he pays to the bank would be much lower. But then he will also get all those benefits of decentralization, of censorship resistance that he doesn't realize, but they protect him.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I think you hit the nail on the head there as well. For I think for some people, it does just need to be the fact that they don't even realise they're using Kaspa's network. Like you said, they don't even have to know that they're using it. They just tap it and it works. That
Exactly.
um, I can see that Ricardo's had his hand up for ages now. It must be aching. Go ahead. Do you have a question for Igra Labs?
Yeah, I do. Hey guys. I understand that at the moment the focus is on being EVM compatible, but if I remember maybe a couple of spaces ago, Dennis, you said that the plan was for Igra to be VM agnostic. And how do you envision the interoperability between multiple VMs on Igra, and what do you think that future is going to look like?
Oh, you know, how to say, it's not even on us, okay? We're mostly waiting for for Jonathan and his team of researchers to finalize their designs, because they are not 100% sure how it should work exactly. Okay, then there is a very active discussion about this right now, about atomic composability and stuff. Okay, it definitely won't be here this year. Yes, but you know, if you are interested in kind of technical nitty gritty, algorithmic, how it should work. Well, I don't know if we have time, and or if even if I at this point understand it so well that I can explain it in simple terms. Okay. Yes. I don't know. Okay. It's
I can try. I can try.
okay.
I'm not going to be like super technical. And I invite everyone to just read, like for technical nitty-gritty, to read Jonathan's research on that about atomical composability on research.caspa. I will drop the link later in this thread for the spaces. But in a nutshell, he postulates, and it sounds about right, because it's like his train of thoughts in this article actually quite consistent, that any VM, any virtual machine, any computer which uses the same sequencer and share the state with other VMs will be out of the box atomically composable. What atomically composable means? It simply means you can call different one contract from another contract, and then cascade these calls all together in one atomic transaction, and this transaction will fail or will be implemented atomically, not partially. So it either works, either not. So this will give you possibility to combine, to compose several calls from your smart contract to other smart contracts, which can be written in different languages, will be interpreted, will be compiled and executed by different VMs, but in the end, they will all work on the same shared space. And this will allow you to basically build your application as any traditional application in software development, when you can combine different libraries and languages and approaches in your app, just by using APIs or asynchronous communication, like this kind of thing. So this will work for you. Just for developer, it will be abstracted away by some kind of messaging bus. But okay, and I don't want to go into details, because really we don't have any proof of concept for that just yet. But
There are there are lots and lots of
idea sounds very
devils in
simple.
the details. Yes. So for example, one huge thing is that for this to work, as far as I understand, miners will need to become aware of the specifics of each VM, okay, to be able to process this compose transactions from them, okay, and other stuff like this, okay. There are lots of holes which are very deep there, okay, and which needs to be resolved, or how accounts are held, okay. Like, is your money held separately on each VM, or is there one centralized authority? It's a kind of centralized. It's not centralized, but whatever. Which deals only with accounts. Okay, like it's a shit ton of details. Okay, which are still unclear.
But I think it's crystallizing. It's
Yeah.
crystallizing as we speak, especially this unified asset layer. I think this idea is already solid. But again, for this to work, to have interoperability, we should have several L2s, in mainnet. So I think we should first deliver us and some other teams so we can, build interoperability between us. Because right now there is nothing to connect. So
And as a stepping
just yet.
stone, we can, before all this is finalized, okay, we can definitely implement several more VMs and make them asynchronously composable. Their transactions, okay, not atomically. In the meantime, for example, yes, and it will work. No problem. We can do it right now.
No, that's great, guys. Thank you.
Awesome, and thanks for the question. It's a fantastic question.
I just posted Jonathan's article just in the thread. So whoever is interested, just give it a read. It's not an easy read, but it's worth it.
Might use Dennis's AI agent to read it. Might make it easier for me. I was going to ask Levendi, talking on questions. Is there any more questions for Igra Labs?
Yeah, we're
while
on the perfect subject actually, because we've had some good questions come from the audience, and some that were even posted from hours before. Let me just get the jumbotron up. Now, 1 second. Okay, so we've got first question from I am Cassin it. He's asking, how would a Kaspa layer 2 VM work to support X money?
What's X money? Sorry.
So the money on this platform, on X. So there's a monetary system coming
on the various.
Yeah.
Ouch.
It's a deep question.
That's a good question. I think that like X money will have to support Kaspa.
All right, short and sweet.
I was perfectly ignorant about X money. So I know this platform. Obviously, I'm using it, but I'm not updated. I will give it a read. So before giving any kind of intelligent answer. So maybe next space.
Cool, no problem. Looking forward to it. But thanks for the answer as well, Mike. So we've got another question from Deep Balboa. I think either you guys have answered this already, or maybe he joined late and wants to find out. So he's asking, will Igra go live on mainnet as based rollups before ZKOP codes are on the consensus layer?
Yeah, that's pretty much what we said.
Cool.
In the beginning, yes, that's perfectly put. Yes.
Awesome. Were they the only questions, Levendi?
Yes, they were for now. If you move on to your next or the next part of it, and I guess we'll get some more coming through as the audience is listening in.
Yeah, awesome. I can see Novel Lab Theory's got his hand up. Go ahead if you've got a question for Igra.
Hey everyone, this is Bratin from Novel Labs. I just wanted to say, you guys, the Igra team, you guys have done a wonderful job, and thank you for let us know about what are the latest happening with your initiative. I've got a couple of questions, actually two-pronged question for you guys. It is, I don't know if it has been discussed before or not. One part is about the security, another part is about the seamless availability of the system. Like, I've been Oracle engineer past couple of decades now, and we do really take seriously about these two, the security and the seamless nature of the environment. So if you can just throw some light upon how you guys are planning to do this for this environment.
security is like, but thanks for the question. Just if you maybe zoom in a little bit, like what you exactly mean by security, because it's a huge topic.
Yeah, like
And
I'm mostly concerned about the attacks, the Trojan, and whatever
yeah,
like the crypto space is vulnerable towards. What are the checks and balances you are putting towards to make? So basically, the reason why I want to know is like if I
uh,
know the systems are in place, then I can sleep better. So that's the reason why I'm asking about.
so if you were sleeping well while having Kaspa, it's your sleep won't be disturbed that much, because we're going to rely on Kaspa consensus. As I mentioned, the whole system is going to be protected by Kaspa's hash rate and its consensus, which is as you probably know, 50% plus one, which is better than proof of stake. Let me be blunt about that, but that's the thing about proof of work. It's just more secure. It's consensus. It's in simple terms, it's harder to attack and harder to steal hash power than a stake and majority of stakers in the traditional proof of stake systems. So that's that's the security we rely on in terms of consensus of the state. But there is a known vector, which is EVM. We chose EVM because we believe it's currently the best VM on the market in terms of security and the procedures, operations, everything about it, meaning like how fast people apply patches, how fast community react to problems in the code. We think that EVM as a piece of software is one of the best on the market. That's why we took it. But it's not ideal. As we all know, it can be attacked. Ethereum applications can be exploited. There are social attacks. There are all kind of risks related with self-custody. It comes with territory. You have to be very vigilant while choosing your wallets, choosing your whatever EVM ecosystem you're working with. So there is no silver bullet just yet. We all know that crypto sometimes can be a dark wood because it's a complex technology and you should know what you're doing. You should do your own research. You shouldn't work with protocols and contracts which are not audited. You shouldn't use wallets which are not properly tested by community, etc., etc. So in this regard, bringing programmability to Kaspa means we're also bringing some challenges which comes with this. But again, we're an additional layer on top of Kaspa. We're a programmable layer on top of BlockDAG. We're not changing anything about Kaspa. Kaspa's consensus and degree of security and decentralization is not going to be changed. It's going to protect L2 users. So that's more or less, in a nutshell, our stance. Let me know if it answers your question.
Yeah, thank you. And what about the availability? If in a like for example, do you have any idea of creating a disaster recovery site? If the system is down, and how fast you can bring it up? Like any ideas on that?
Look, I'm coming from like boring background. I was working in Web2 for I'm not going to tell you how many years because it's awkward. And yeah, it's all like when you build a high load system, distributed system, which serves a million orders to your real customers, it have to be available. It have to be highly available. You should have all the proper procedures in place. It have to be resilient. You have to have monitoring, debugging, site reliability team, people on call, all procedures. Your software had to be, not ideally not 2 months old on the market. It should be proven. Again, it should be tested and audited. So yes, all these things are going to be in place. And as I already mentioned, our team are all seasoned people coming from the same background. We know how to run software in production, and we know how to do disaster recovery. That's
I want to add to that we are building a decentralized system, so availability is not going to be a problem. If one node goes down, we still have hundreds or thousands of nodes throughout the world, to which you can connect, synchronize, and get all the information. That's the whole point of a decentralized system and a block DAG.
Yeah, that's the whole point of decentralization nodes. Like, yes,
Yes.
we're going to have our nodes, but we're going to actively promote decentralization in Igra network as well, because like the more nodes, the higher degree of decentralization we have, the better security and resilience of the system will be. One of the reasons we want also to shout out to community members, to builders, potential node operators to participate in Igra ecosystem even before our public launch, because the early contributors will have a chance to to get share and like to participate in network, enable essential network operations. So this is also very important for us. Like I'm not talking about like immediate need, but yes, when we'll be closer to the testnet, having node operators will be really beneficial, not for us, for our users, like for people
Yes.
like you who want to sleep good at night.
Yeah, and our Igra token, not a gas token, not ICAS, okay, is partially designed with that goal in mind: how to incentivize node runners, okay? Because for example, on Kaspa, you're not incentivized at all to write to run a node, right? You earn money only if you are a miner, right? But anyone who runs a node does it out of his good heart, basically. Okay. But for Igra nodes, it will be not like that. For Igra nodes, the Igra token will have enough incentives to make it economically viable for I don't know, make it interesting for people to run node. L2 node, okay, and thus we hope to achieve a very wide decentralization, because we don't have mining, right? Okay, in that sense, okay. Kaspa or any proof of work chain achieves decentralization by virtue that there are many miners, right? And miners usually prefer to run a node for themselves also, not rely on a public node, okay, public nodes. But we don't have such luxury. We don't have our own miners, right? Okay. So here is this this mechanism with the Igra token, which will incentivize people to run nodes. It will have many more benefits. Okay, like I don't know, maybe discounts for transaction fees or whatever. Yes, but this is one of the main things why it's there, to secure the system and to incentivize people to run nodes.
Amazing, and thanks for the question there, Noble Lab, or the questions. They're really good. I was going to say actually, because while we're talking about Kaspa actually being like the security and everything of Igra Labs, like obviously the security derives from the layer one, which is obviously Kaspa, from the base layer, because you're doing base rollups. Has anyone else achieved base rollups before? Is Kaspa going to be the first network to achieve base rollups that you know of?
I think the first usable one. Yes.
There is a based rollup on Ethereum called Taiko. It's an interesting project. So far, it looks more of a proof of concept because it's not economically viable just yet. And I'm not sure it's going to be simply because of how this whole system is designed. It just sequencing on Ethereum doesn't make much sense for Ethereum validators. They prefer to do it on rollups because it's just the rollups pay them more money. So based rollup on Ethereum, not really. And yeah, since the whole terminology comes from Ethereum ecosystem, you should look there. So it's only one example. And yeah, on Kaspa, yeah, we hope to be the first, but again, we don't. We learning from the best. So as Satan doesn't commit to any timeline, we also do not commit to any timeline for the mainnet. It would be irresponsible from our side, but just yeah, we believe us. We're not going to spend any more minute than it needs to be. We're really interested to see this thing on mainnet as well. It's going to be super cool project. Like to see the real based rollup working on Kaspa, serving real value for real people. It's the best engineer can wish for.
And that's what really excites me as well is the fact that, like, for Casper Network to be the first network to actually achieve an actual usable base roll up. I mean, that's massive news for crypto in general, not just for our community, but for crypto in general, and especially for, like, surely people that are developers and that are building on Ethereum will look at this, because the base roll ups originally the concept came from Ethereum, wasn't it? But they like you said, it's just hard to actually make it usable on Ethereum's network. Well,
exactly.
Surely people from that are developing on Ethereum, which everybody knows, like, Ethereum's got so many developers working on it. Surely that will grab the eyes onto Casper from their side, because here's this proof of work that's just achieved, like, already solved the trilemma, but now it's actually got based roll-ups on it. That must be huge news for crypto in general, surely.
We certainly hope so. I have lots of friends in Ethereum ecosystem, like people who are actually in the core of the whole thing, and I know one thing about them, at least one thing. Apart from being great guys, they're also intellectually honest. So if they see design which work, and by work I mean it's not just the code, not just some diagrams or light paper. If it will work on the testnet, it will serve the volume which it says it serves without which it committed to, without losing all the security properties, right? And we'll have the same decentralization as Kaspa have, and also it's scalable, because we know that there are designs to even scale 5,000 TPS further. I'm not talking for that, but it was about that. But it was Yoni who mentioned that in his talk, that 100 blocks per second is a target, is something which we should look out for. So this actually makes this solution solving blockchain trilemma, or as some wise man once told us, there is no blockchain trilemma, there is also only Ethereum trilemma, because they struggle to Ethereum struggle to solve that. I'm not telling them they, because I'm using Ethereum as anybody else, I have to admit, but yeah, it's definitely can use some I don't know, some leapfrog. Ethereum ecosystem struggles, I think, politically, just to similar to Bitcoin, to make some serious major improvements with their technology. I completely understand why, but it doesn't mean somebody else shouldn't build it. And yeah, we want to be one of the teams which suggest new designs for that and new blueprints. And we're going to be totally open. Our dream that our code is going to be audited by the core team. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we really wish it will. And then we're going to open source the whole thing, and then everybody can look at the design and shoot as many holes as possible in it. What Mike said about healthy discussions in engineering teams, that it's a requirement. It's not a nice to have. It's the way you build great software. That's how EVM was built. It's how Bitcoin was built. It's how Kaspa was built, and that's how Igra will be built. So yeah, I think that's.
And you know what? Like a wild thought. Okay, after the Ethereum guys see that this works, Okay, they may consider kind of that at the core of Ethereum once was Ghost, the precursor of a Ghost Dog algorithm. Okay, it's a previous algorithm that Jonathan developed. Okay, I think they used it for reorgs or something like that. But then probably after moving to proof of stake or something, they threw it away. But okay, well thought. After Igra's success and the based roll-up practical implementation, they may consider I don't know, maybe adopting Kaspa as their new consensus. Okay, and Ethereum will benefit greatly. Okay.
Yeah, Justin, if you listen to that, please just replace Beacon Chain with Kaspa Block Duck. We'll be all better off. Kaspa is a better sequencer, just admit it. It doesn't, like, you cannot proceed with Beacon Chain the way it is. Sequential sequencing doesn't make sense. Just look at the block duck, for God's sake. It's a good piece of software.
So basically, like Ethereum could actually benefit from using Casper as a layer one sequencer as well. Then,
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely,
Everybody can benefit, right?
Yeah, it's built for that, and it's focused on that now. I don't know if you read Saturn's post about that, about the vision. It's really strong. Like he said, I imagine Kaspa as a terabyte day stream of securely pruned data mined in consensus by thousands of solar ASICs across the globe, providing worldwide linear ordering and conflict resolution and censorship resistance. World sequencer.
Yeah,
It's cool,
they,
what?
yeah, and they can move back from their proof of stake bullshit to proof of work.
that would be huge news. Imagine if Ethereum did that, and it was all thanks to Casper.
Mhm.
That'd be massive. I can see STP's got his hand up. Go ahead, STP. You got a question for Igra?
Yeah, do you guys hear me?
Yeah, can hear you fine.
Okay, I have a question for Igra Labs. For your interest, I'm a miner and I run 3 nodes at the moment on testnet 10 just to support the preparation. But I'm going to upgrade my mining infrastructure and start solo mining after the average block production of 10 per second is live on Kaspa mainnet. The more nodes, the more decentralized Kaspa gets, as you mentioned before. But my question, sorry, I'm not an expert on this matter. I'm still learning about layers and building on base layers. But what I have noticed, and everyone with me, during example, during the Nacho and Kaspa DAO minting on the Casplex Casplex protocol, Kaspa's network held strong, but due to high demand, many transactions went into a queue and caused congestion on the network. To be clear, Kaspa handled it very well, but KRC20 is just an adoption. But if we want Kaspa to be a stable network, these kind of events should be avoided. Well, not to be avoided, but find a solution to protect Kaspa for these kind of events. Is this something where Igra Labs can be helpful? For example, no, why is this important? Kaspa is way too strong to serve only as a peer-to-peer payment system, and Kaspa is made for industrial adoption too, and mature the crypto space towards business usage by small and big entities. But for this, the network cannot be saturated anytime. So is this something where Igra Labs can help? So if people and big businesses want to use the Kaspa network, that it's sure that when, by example, there is another big mint, the Kaspa network is not congested. Thank you.
You know what? I may drop a little bomb now. Okay, I must say, first of all, okay, let's put one thing aside. Kaspa on 10 BPS will have already about let's say 5,000 transactions per second theoretical maximum. Okay, it's like an order of magnitude bigger than Then what caused the what I say is if 10 BPS was available when all this KRC20 agitage was happening, okay, it would hold. But we as Igra, we have some designs which we're not planning to implement immediately, but should the need arise, should there will be such demand for TPS, okay, we have designs to up our throughput to 50,000 TPS, and even I'd say theoretical maximum, let's say to 5 million TPS. Okay, with how to say, if that part of the system will be activated, the security will be a little bit less than the fully than the current implementation. Okay, but they can run in parallel. Okay, if you want, if you need 50,000 TPS, okay, you can accept a slightly lower security guarantees and use that layer of the system. Okay, and have your 50,000 TPS if you want to. Okay, so we have designs like that. Okay, we kind of with the ideas and algorithms, we are ready to such possibilities in the future. But I think practically for next couple of years, 5,000 TPS will be plenty. But we'll see. Okay, just so you know, we are prepared to this for this.
If it's
Yeah, guys.
not, then
Yeah.
Kaspa is really in a good shape.
Okay, thank you for
Yes,
answering
yes. If
that thing.
imagine that if Kaspa will suddenly have a sustained 5,000 TPS demand, imagine this new world, how it will look. Okay, it will be crazy. It will be crazy. Yes, and then how to say, Jonathan's theoretical maximum is about 50,000 TPS when they will be ready with 100 blocks per second. Okay, and they have a clear roadmap to that. Okay, but it will take a few years for Kaspa to get there with all the optimizations and stuff and Dark Knight. But Kaspa itself has a roadmap to 50,000 TPS. Okay, and we have as Igra as layer 2 for more.
So in your opinion, then, by next cycle, we could reach Yoni's vision of 50,000 TPS.
I don't know. I don't know when they will. I think first they will need to implement the Ignite and stuff. I don't know. It's a few years of development.
It's more of a Dark Knight side, Dark Knight stage. I don't think it's a Ghost Duck game. And let's remember that I think Visa and MasterCard has collective throughput of something like 70,000 transactions per second. Peak.
No. I think Visa is maybe 25. MasterCard is maybe 12. Something
Peak
like that.
capacity. Peak capacity. I mean, peak capacity.
Okay.
Maximum capacity. Real capacity, yeah, it can be zero. It depends on. I think it's median. It's about 20,000. So yeah, 50,000 will be more than enough to accommodate the whole retail from the whole world. If we have that amount of business, we're in the good shape. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to bring 5,000 TPS.
Listen, if Visa will come knocking, okay, we'll have 100,000 TPS for them in a few months, okay. Developed and tested, okay. So,
I mean, this is the other thing as well, isn't it? Like we often talk about Kaspa getting this TPS through just retail, through us, just peer to peer or whatever it is. But like Kaspa can be monumental for business, for payment rails and things like this, and for like market enablers as well. Like using Kaspa's network could be a massive benefit for, or will be a massive benefit for business. So, like, you could easily use these. I don't know anytime soon, but you'd like to think, even if it was just in crypto land, and we stuck with DeFi for the time being, or like swapping stable coins, for example. Like that's a huge market anyway, and so I think I don't know. I think we can see, or we will see, a massive boost in TPS on Kaspa's network when Crescendo's done and we have smart contracts on top of Kaspa. It just makes sense if you're someone who's in DeFi or you have a business with DeFi. Why wouldn't you use Kaspa's layer? Like it would make perfect sense to use it. It incentivizes you to use it because you'll save money and you'll have better security.
Yeah, that's our hope. Yes.
Awesome. Levendi, have we got any other questions from from the audience?
Yeah, there was a question from Ricardo again that was on the panel. He's asking Igra Labs how much L1 mass for a standard pre-ZK EVM transaction.
Oh, I can't. Mike, maybe you
Question
can
for
answer.
Mike. Question for Mike.
Well, I know the Kaspa side. I'm not sure like what is the size of the zero knowledge. It's still not clear. I think I'm not part of the discussions, but I believe like you will need to place like some cryptographic proof. I guess that's going to be maybe a few kilobytes of just storage data. So it's not even storage; it's just like block space, which is not very. It's just 1 gram per 1 byte, I think. So that's not going to be expensive. And then the verification would be more or less the same as the verification of a signature. I guess it's going to cost more, but it will be on the same, maybe twice, maybe 3 times as much as an ordinary signature. But these details are not finalized yet. I know there is an active discussion going on, and I'm not really part of the discussion, so I can't really tell for sure. But this is a question for the core team and not for Igra Labs team, because this is something that the core team will have to decide upon. And I know they have some good questions yet to answer before they can give you a final answer for that. But I think it's going to be really economically viable, and it would be definitely cheaper than Ethereum or any other chain that is limited with block space.
Awesome. And are you still working 1 day a week with Igra Labs, Mike Zach, even though everybody knew that would never happen?
No, it will happen, but I personally need the money, so I need to work a lot, and then we do need to finish this DevNet by April 1st, so I work a lot. But last week I worked, I think, 16 hours. This week it's gonna be around 20, I think.
It's because you love it. You have a passion for it. That's why.
Yeah, I never like wake up. I never start working because like somebody expects me to, or I say like I need to do it for the money. I wake up and like I feel like coding for a couple of hours. All right, let's do that.
That's so cool, man. Because you're also a composer, aren't you?
Well, that's my main gig. I'm recording my first album these days, and it's gonna be out in a few months, I hope.
No way. That's awesome. Where can people find that when that comes out? You put it on the block deck.
Well, anybody who ever talked to me is gonna hear about it. I can be sure of that. I'm gonna post it on all the platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, whatever. And I really, really hope that I will be able to print a vinyl. I'm still not sure what are the costs and if it's viable. But at least, like, I don't know, 100, 200 copies I would like to have just to print. I have a question for the audience. Is there any demands for CDs?
Not from me. There's not.
CDs, but bro, CDs.
Yeah.
we're
Like
going
this
back.
is weird because there is a demand for vinyls. I am definitely going to print vinyls, but CDs it seems dead. So it's like vinyls and Spotify's.
You know, vinyls have actually got that classic factor to them, to be fair. I don't think CDs ever caught on like that, but holy moly, what a blast from the past. CDs. I remember carrying my CD player around when I was a kid. Jesus Christ, Mike. Thanks for that.
Yeah,
Mike,
I have a meme about vinyls that a vinyl collector asks another vinyl collector, what do you like about vinyls? So he answers to him, the inconvenience and the high prices. And it's totally that.
yes.
The
And the fact
inconvenience
that
is it's so nice that you physically have to take out this thing and you have to do it carefully because it's so gentle. And then you carefully put it on the round table and you place the needle and it really shakes with the music. This is so great. I love vinyls a lot.
yes, and it's also in line with. It's like a living organism. If you play it enough, okay, eventually it will get so scratched that it will die, right? And
Well, if somebody listens to my album that much, then Kaspa is in a good shape.
mhm.
True. I think CDs are like the Tezos of the music world. Sorry, Pavel.
Listen, you should know. I still have a collection of I don't know a few hundreds of CDs of Baroque music. Okay, yes, and I do
I
listen
have
to
a
them.
CD player and I have like a new piano teacher who just gave me a CD and I'm going to listen to it. It's a CD of his album and I am going to listen on my CD player to that CD.
Retro, man, that's cool. I mean, like, I forgot what I was going to say now. But oh yeah, no. What I was going to say is I did notice that when I said how are people going to be able to get your album, the first thing you said was Apple Music. So I know you had a deep desire for Apple. I know you did.
No, that was your NLP that has planted the Apple into my brain. Otherwise, there's no way I would say Apple anywhere. I was actually, I have a friend a long time ago, before Spotify was available in Israel, a friend offered Apple Music to me like for free. He had this family a family package and he had an extra slot. And I refused because I said, I don't want anything from Apple on my phone.
You know what? But that says a lot about your character. I love people that will stick by their guns, and you certainly will stick by your guns, Mike. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I definitely do. Sometimes, like, being stubborn is just fun. It's fun about stupid things. About serious things, being stubborn is like it's bad for you. But like, nobody cares about that, so it's fun to be stubborn about that.
Oh, I love it. I forgot where we were with questioning, to be honest with you. Levendi, is there any more questions for Igra at all from or CryptoPunks?
There has been a few questions that Pavel, Den, and Mike have gone through out for the space. So I invite you guys to re-listen back to their recording so we can move on to the other questions we have in the back end and really get to know what's happening.
Awesome. So yeah, we've got a few more. Are you guys still all right to have you still got enough time to speak for a little bit longer?
I'm cool.
I'm fine.
Sweet. Because we have got a few. So, yeah, what was it about Kaspa's tech or vision that made you want to get involved? Like, I know, so Pavel, you weren't part of DAG Labs, were you? But Dennis and Mike were. What was it that actually, like, did you know what Kaspa was about before you entered DAG Labs, or was it completely new to you and you just sort of discovered what you were trying to achieve with Kaspa when you joined DAG Labs?
I definitely discovered it after I joined. Yes, more or less.
I think I told the story maybe last time, but it wasn't recorded, so I might retell it. I had a vision in my mind how like the right cryptocurrency should look, what properties it should have, and I was really frustrated back in the day with anything that was out there. Ethereum was showing promise back then, but it was like the proof of stake thing was just beginning to take form, and nobody really knew if it's gonna work or not. But I knew what properties I want from my cryptocurrency, and I couldn't get it anywhere. And then I met with Jonathan, and we sat there, and he described to me the cryptocurrency that I envisioned. Only he knew how to make it real, because he had a Phantom and the Ghost Dog in his pocket. Like it was a click from day one. I knew that this is the thing we should build. Even before we started building it, and then we just build the thing that we were supposed to build. There is no other way. Any other way would be compromising like fundamentally important things. So yeah, I knew from the beginning what I want, and it was a miracle that I met the person that knows how to do it.
And like, so how did you actually get in contact with Jonathan? Like, did you know Jonathan beforehand, both of you, or was it just literally just fluke? Because especially for you, Dennis, as well. Like you said, you were 3 years out of the tech sort of game, and then you sort of managed to come across and come back into the tech world and start crypto, and it's DAG Labs, like the where it all started from, where all Kaspa started from.
Yeah, a friend of mine worked with the Globs, Roman. You know, and we studied AG together. Yes, and he brought me there. He said that they might benefit from my team. You know.
And how about you, Mike? Did you know Jonathan from the off, or
So
freak chance?
I didn't know Jonathan. I was a very good friend with Shai Desheviborsky. We're friends. Like I don't remember since when. I just like the first time I remember him in my company, he was already like a good friend. So that was like, I don't know, maybe when we were 16 or something. So and he knew Jonathan from the university. He was doing his master's degree back then, and I think Jonathan was doing his master's degree at the same time, or maybe Jonathan was already in his PhD. Anyway, I had a good job in a company where I was programming like some backend boring stuff. And I was into crypto just out of curiosity, and it was a hobby. And I was talking with Shai about, I was just telling him something about crypto, and then he says like, you know, I have a friend in the university who is all into crypto, and he's probably going to release his coin. And I jokingly asked him like, does he need any programmers? I didn't look for a job back then. I was just like, I know that's a question you ask when you're a programmer and you hear about a cool project. And he said, you know what, I'm gonna check. And they seriously checked that. And Well, after that, there was that famous meeting where Jonathan described the coin that I wanted to build. Since then it is history. But I didn't know Jonathan before. The funny thing is that afterwards, I was the one that brought Shai on the team. So we both brought each other to the Igra Labs.
Absolutely awesome story, man. Love that. And like, was there any time in developing Kaspa? And there's, I mean, it's a silly question, really. There's got to have been, but where you were working on it and you were just thinking, look, we can't get this to work. Like, this is just insane. This is far beyond anything we can actually achieve. And then was there that, or when was that breakthrough point that you realised, shit, we can actually do this?
So it's something I got used in software development quite early on. You do not ask such questions. You're building something which is bigger than what you can imagine. And like, if you begin asking questions like, can I do it? Oh, these are bad questions. The answer is yes. You just do your best and you see what you get. However, back right before mainnet launch, I think I also told the story maybe last time. Right before launch, we ran out of resources. We ran out of money. We had finished writing the code. We didn't have any QA. We were unable to find any QA people that were able to understand what the hell are we doing. We didn't have like the DevOps to put on the servers. We didn't have a lot of, we didn't have documentation. We didn't have anything of that. And the plan was to release code without a mainnet, so that community comes and finishes it. But then Stas, one of our developers, he said, "No, we're releasing something. We have to release something." And he was really stubborn about that, so we agreed with him. Actually, we did not. I did not, because I back then already went to study music, but the rest of the team agreed with him. And they did release something. They made it in a certain way that it would not be worth a lot of money. They made sure that every block has a random amount of block rewards, so there could be no real economics, up until the point where community did the QA, did the documentation, made sure everything works, and then they began this tokenomics that we all know of, with the quick release and the schedule of releasing. So yeah, it was really close. It was really close to not releasing anything. But I'm very happy that we did release it, and the community appeared from God knows where, and did all the things we were unable to do on our own.
I mean, that is just a story in itself, isn't it? The fact that Kaspa that we know now and how far it's come now, very nearly didn't get launched. And like, that would have just been insane. Like, no, I mean, none of us would have known any different, but like, it's crazy the sort of butterfly effect that happens in life. And I just think it's just wild. And like, do you guys, both of you, because obviously you worked on this is essentially your baby as well. Do you look back on it now from what it is now? I mean, you're all building now with Pavel as well. Igra Labs, you're building on top of Kaspa. Do you look back now and just think this is just insane how much of a community and how much of a difference Kaspa's made in the ecosystem?
Oh, this is just crazy. I like, it's unfathomable. I would never have guessed, but like, we were just 3 people. Most of the years, like the first 3 years, that is just 3 people sitting in a room, and from time to time, Jonathan comes in with a new idea, and we have to implement that. And we build all that from basically scratch. We had old Bitcoin code, which was rewritten almost in all of its entirety. I think the only part that is left was like the transaction script engine, which we hardly touched in the first version. We just got SegWit out of it. But yeah, that's crazy. It's like it's a toy we have built, and suddenly it's changing people's lives, and people dream of it, and people talk about it, and we have a community. This is, I don't know. I still find it hard to believe from time to time.
Literally must be surreal. And is that the same for you, Dennis, as well?
Yes, kind of. For me, it was a bit different, but as I said, I got into this completely by mistake, and I joined at a much later stage than Mike. Mike was there from the very, very beginning. Yes, but you know, when I came to work there, I kind of immediately felt that this place and these people are one head above any place I worked before and any people I worked before. Okay, okay, and yes, but when the network was released, also it was a huge surprise for me that it very quickly got this life of its own. That the people appeared out of nowhere, miners and people who were on Discord and did this and that, you know, on a completely volunteer basis. Okay, you know, and you know, I was watching it grow with amazement. Okay, yes, after it was released.
Well, I mean, you guys are literally part of history, especially like, and this is just the start of it. I personally have got no doubt in my mind. Kaspa's going to be one of the biggest names in the crypto space, just because, like, and this is me being biased because I do love Kaspa, but it just looking at it just from a tech point of view, in my mind there's no way it can't, because it is just, it is the, like, well, Shai says it's the end game, and it really, it is. Like, if it's a layer one sequencer for every other chain as well, like, it's a no-brainer. And so, like, it must be just crazy that, like, you guys can look at that and go, we were part of that. We were at, like, especially you, Mike, you was at ground zero with it. It's insane.
You know, it's like you wake up every day and you do your job and you do it to the best of your ability. And yeah, and sometimes it's just way more successful than other times. I don't know. I try to stay humble. I don't drive a Lambo, and I don't like think too much of that. I just think it's a cool thing that we were in the right place and the right time, and we had the right abilities to really build something incredible.
So cool, man. And I definitely agree. You do stay humble. That's why you have an Android, and now it all makes sense.
And you know, I think serendipity, the serendipity is a real force in the world. Okay, some people may call it a god's hand, maybe. Yes, that yes, it something brings us to the right place at the right time. Okay, which is which has an infinitesimal chance of happening. Okay, yes, and but you know, but it happens. Yes.
I'm totally with you on that. I think it's just sometimes things work way too well than they actually should, and it's because all the right people were there at the right time. And I totally agree. Yeah. call it whatever you will, but yeah, there's forces at work that sometimes we don't understand, and I am definitely behind that sort of thinking.
I want to add to that beyond the forces we don't understand, there are a few principles that have to be followed, and we did follow, and I think part or even most of the success can be attributed to that. And this is like truly be honest with yourself and like do the thing that needs to be done. Everybody knew about the scaling problem in blockchains. Everybody knew about it. Nobody was able to tap it. Everybody was afraid to tap it. Everybody were solving secondary problems because they were unable to attack the real problem. But then comes Jonathan and says, the scaling problem is the problem. We are going to tap that. We are going to deal with that. And this is what we did. And then once we finished with that, then Jonathan said, now MEV is the problem. So he goes and attacks that. And as long as you're that honest with yourself, you will do great things.
I love that, and yeah, like I've seen interviews with Jonathan before, and he always says like focus on the problem, and he obviously lives that, and that's why things work, I suppose. Like you said, like you focus on the problem and you just have no choice. You just solve it. You work on it. You work on it, and then you will have a breakthrough. And I think it's obviously come through in Kaspa. That's what's happened here. And yeah, it's just awesome, man. I can't actually thank you guys enough because, like I said, I'm just a humble, normal little guy in England, and I've now got the ability, and I genuinely feel like I have the ability to have monetary sovereignty, and it's exactly what I want. And I think you've given that to so many people as well. So again, it must be massive for you guys. I think it's, yeah, I can't even imagine creating something like that. I think it's awesome. But yeah, I can see STP's had his hand up for ages. Go ahead. I can tell you've got a question.
Yeah, I have time, don't worry. Sorry, Igra, to take your time again, but I tagged you in the comments. I'm not sure if you have seen it, but this is a bit a follow-up on what my previous question in the space. This is an example. In the future, Kaspa should be protected from network congestion. So maybe check it after I finish my little talk. I would advise everyone here in the space to check KYYX and their webpage. I'm in no way involved in KYY, but this is where my question was about earlier on stage: network congestion. KYY is in the process of using Kaspa as a network for their electricity farms all over the globe, which will result in many microtransactions. So congestion on Kaspa cannot occur when these kind of third parties are adopting Kaspa as their way of processing data. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
There was just an announcement from them a couple of days ago that they also started their own layer 2 project. Okay, so I think they will not use us as if I read their announcement correctly. So
Yeah, I know, but it was just to emphasize the importance of the network congestion. If Kaspa really wants to adopt towards business orientated people using Kaspa as their data usage, then it's important we don't have network congestion. That's my point. Just take the video and I post it to you guys. It's really interesting. Anyway.
I think the story behind KII is that the same people, they have built already a system on top of Bitcoin, and then they realized it just won't scale, and that there's no crypto that will scale enough for their needs until they saw the release of Kaspa, and they realized, okay, now we have a blockchain, well, a block DAG that can scale to the level that they need. So I really do believe Kaspa will be able to handle their load. I think they're very serious people, and they did do their due diligence to make sure that it is going to work, and there's not going to be a congestion, definitely not a long-term one.
Okay, and that's why I put also in the same comment where I tagged you in a full video of why KYY chose Kaspa, and that is exactly what you meant. They've been looking for years for a good blockchain, block deck to build on, and now they found Kaspa. But that's an interesting video. Thank you for your time.
Nice, thank you very much.
Yeah, cheers for the question again, STP. Always good to have you up here asking these questions. I was going to just circle back as well, just to the early days of Kaspa, if that's all right. What was the biggest challenges that you actually faced building out Kaspa?
Well, like the biggest challenge I think was not met, and that was like to find personnel to fill up any position which is not development or research. We did have Anat. She was, I guess, COO. She was great, but otherwise we were able to only find researchers and developers that were like able to understand what we're doing. Beside that, it's like it just Jonathan has solved the consensus question of how we sort how we sort blocks if they were generated simultaneously. That's what Gosdak does, and this is great. But then any process that happens on Bitcoin becomes sometimes a little bit, but mostly much more complicated when you don't have synchronicity. And then it was just solving a lot of small problems regarding that. For instance, just one problem that arises is how do you give out fees? In Bitcoin, when you mine a block, you get all the fees from all the transactions you have in your block. In a block DAG, it's not clear if all your transactions are going to be accepted because there might be a double spend on a block that was created at the same time in the other side of the world, and Gosdak sorts it in such a way that the double spend is accepted and your transaction is not. A lot of tiny questions, very technical, that needed the resolving, and we had to deal with all of them. And it's like really hard to highlight a single one because they were all very hard.
Yeah, I mean, I could only imagine you're building out something that, like you said, is the biggest problem, or was the biggest problem at crypto in the time. Yeah, I could only imagine it was just a constant problem, but one that you solved, which is fantastic. I can see Pavel's going to have to leave very, very soon now. I just wanted to say a massive thank you to you. You've been incredible, and again, thanks so much for your time. I love having all you guys up here. I think it's awesome chatting with you lot because you're all really down to earth as well, which is really nice. So it's just awesome. Yeah, awesome having you guys up here. So really, really, really do appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us. It's great being here, and it was great returning here.
Even though I am an Apple user.
Even though you're an Apple user, it was hard going over, but like you're such a great dude that I forgive you even that.
Yeah. We've all got our little faux bears, haven't we? So
absolutely, man.
No, I love it. I do honestly. I think you guys are awesome, and I'm really pleased that you guys are building out on Kaspa and coming out with Igra Labs. I think it's going to be well. Everyone's excited for it. Like it just is. There's a lot of hype around it, and yeah, base roll ups on Kaspa, just unreal, absolutely unreal. So really, really, really looking forward to that, man. Just before we do close off, Levendi, is there any more final questions, or Crypto Pumps? Is there any more final questions from YouTube? Oh, Android problems again.
Of course. Couldn't wait that half a second to throw it in there. Had to. No, all good. Yeah, no, nothing. No questions have come through since the last one. STP has. I've pinned up your message that you sent about Kaspa Key up there with the wind farm. I believe it is. That video looks pretty slick, to be honest. So I'm interested to see how that unfolds and how everybody will play a role towards it.
100%. Dennis or Mike, did you have anything else you wanted to add about Igra before we close off this space?
No, okay, I don't know. Okay. Let's continue discussions and I remind that any teams who want to to start testing our system very very soon, in a week time we will be ready. I think just call us, and let's talk.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be great to get a good number of developers testing Igra Labs when they're ready. Am I correct in saying you said it was April 1st you're hoping to?
We're aiming at this date. Okay. Yes.
Awesome. So yeah, if anybody is listening and they're looking to develop on Igra, then certainly get in touch with them to sort of secure your space with them, because they, as far as I know, you've only got a limited amount of space you can have for people testing out on DevNet. Is that right?
It's limited in the sense that the system is still how do I put it? It's not polished. Okay, there is no documentation. There are some manual procedures to do something which should be automated and stuff like this. Okay, and it will have the effect that the people will get stumbled at simple things, that they don't know where to find it or how to run it or I don't know what. Yes, and one of us will need to spend time with people, assisting them and guiding them and stuff. And we have very limited resources. We don't have too many people to start with. And another thing is everybody is busy developing. Okay. Okay. So this kind of developer support thing it will be. If it will be like a huge number of people, okay, we will simply not be able to handle that. Okay. That's the only constraint.
Perfect. So yeah, if you're looking to develop on Igra Labs, certainly get in touch with them, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, April 1st, you may be able to jump on their DevNet, which would be amazing. Yeah, I just really do want to say a massive thank you to all of you, Dennis, Mike, and Pavel. You guys are doing an incredible job for the space, and I mean, you two have already done an incredible job for Kaspa anyway by actually helping create it, which is just massive in itself. So yeah, I just want to much love to you guys. You've been absolutely incredible. Love having you on Blockchain Banter. I think yeah, it's great. Like I said, you're really down to earth, and you can have a laugh with you as well as learning loads and loads of stuff, which is sort of why we set up Blockchain Banter anyway. We wanted it to be a nice, easy listen, but also learn a lot, which I have. So, and hopefully so is the audience. So yeah, massive thank you to you guys. You're legends.
Thank you too. Yes, I like your spaces. Okay, I like how conversation flows here. Okay, it's feels really kind of homey. Yeah, very pleasant. Yes.
Yeah, it's really nice being here. I'm really enjoying everything. I must say I was sure that there's going to be chaos. I never was in an X space before. I was sure it's gonna be chaos and everybody speaking at the same time. But it's really fun over here. People are really nice.
I try to keep. We all do. We all try to keep it as civil as possible, whilst adding in a little bit of banter. And luckily, because Levendi does have a Android, he can't unmute himself that quickly, so that also helps with people talking over each other. So
I'll leave it off mute now on purpose, just so you can stop saying that.
This makes me so angry.
Oh, I love it, man.
No, man, it's all banter. It's great. It's awesome. One of these days, someone's gonna animate like our faces on Androids and iPhones and put us to battle. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, it has to happen. It has to happen. If I was able to animate, I would do that. But I only write music and some code from time to time.
From time to time, yeah,
It's
only
just
just
insane.
best tech in the fucking world. Time to
Yeah, I
time.
know. Like literally, one of the people that like helped create the best tech in the world, and he just does tech from time to time. But
You're
love
awesome, Mike, man. Absolutely awesome. Appreciate you guys, honestly, joining the stage. Would love to have you again. Thank you so much for the kind words about our space.
Yeah, it is much appreciated. So Levendi, shall I do my little close off line now? I've got to remember it now.
Well, we've got some juice to drop off before we go. Actually, we've got some actual big news coming from a one of the leading KRC20 projects corner, and also from our corner too. But first, I want to pass it over to Nacho. What's going on, bro? I heard a little something. Something's opened up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh shit, my bad. Did I say it too early? I'm sorry.
No, we announced yesterday. It's a long time coming. We have been talking about our top 13, top 10 exchange listings since Christmas, if you can believe it. But it is finally here. They announced it. We announced it this morning, last night, depending on where you are. But trading goes live for Nacho on Gate this Wednesday, the 26th, pretty early in the morning, UTC. So take a look at that announcement, get ready. Deposits and withdrawals are already, actually, I don't know about withdrawals, but deposits are already turned on Gate. So you can get your account set up. There's a link in our announcement to set up a new account if you don't have one. But everything will be good to go Wednesday morning. So pay attention to that. And we've talked a couple, sorry. Maybe it was just me. We've talked a couple times before about how this is kind of one of 3 dominoes to fall. So my only point here is to remind everyone that we're watching the first domino fall here. So stay tuned as the cascade continues.
Bro, what do you mean? The first, you can't leave it on that bombshell. Come on, man. Not
When
again.
Binance.
My
When
God, Mike,
Binance.
kill him, Mike. Jesus Christ.
We need Kaspa first. Win Kaspa Binance. That's my question.
I've given up on them.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know. I really wanted to know that as well. I think that they should have listed us so long time ago. They're just stupid.
I agree. Fuck them.
Yeah, absolutely, those assholes.
Unless they're listening and about to list Cas, and then we love you, Binance.
Listen, guys. Actually, CZ he dropped. He's not involved with Binance anymore, but he has influence. He dropped a couple of weeks ago a very nice idea. If I understand correctly, what he proposes is that he wants exchanges, and Binance included, to have some mechanisms which are more direct and transparent than the process of listings going now. Essentially, ideally, as far as I understand it, it will be user initiated, just like on a DEX, okay, something like that. If I understood his idea correctly, I just read it very obliquely, but there is hope that all this kind of backdoor games and stuff, and deals, and huge listing fees and stuff. This will change in the future. Okay, but not tomorrow. No. Okay.
I kind of
What
agree with
Dennis
you,
is
Dennis.
alluding to, what Dennis is alluding to is that you should go right now to the Twitter of Binance and spam them when Kaspa.
Kaspa community does it every day. Okay.
Yeah. You should do it.
Every day. It's like every hour, Dennis. Man, even
Yes.
myself a couple of months ago, I would not stop bashing them on the head with posts about Kaspa.
But Dennis, I think
So
you're
that's
right.
great. That's great. I love that.
There's
I,
generally like a
I,
movement at this in crypto, because the BitGet guy, CEO, was talking about the exact same thing at the conference in Bucharest, how they were changing their listing process to community voted and showing that the community can show up and drive new users and trading volume instead of paying the fee as the project.
Yeah. Nice.
And really, it does need to happen because it's getting ridiculous now. You've got like the best layer one in the world by far, not listed on these tier one sexes. Yet Fartcoin gets listed in like 5 seconds flat. It's playing into the degen bullshit, really.
Fucking Obama, Sonic, Inu, Shiba shitcoins coming out of nowhere,
Oh God, here we
and
go.
they're still sitting on the best tech in the fucking industry. But it was said earlier on, tech doesn't always win like that, right? It's that meme coins that always get that most attention.
No, okay, listen, guys. I can play a bit of devil's advocate here, okay, and tell you that it's not so simple, okay. So understand that why they are listing shitcoins very fast, because technologically all the systems for listing them are already in place, because the tokens on systems on Solana, on Ethereum, which they already integrated. Okay, they have technological capacity to run these nodes. They have people trained to run these nodes. They have wallet infrastructure in place and everything. For Kaspa, for example, for a completely new layer one, they need to do it. Okay, arguably they have almost infinite resources, so they can dedicate a few tens of people, okay, to do it very quickly. Okay, but I just say it's not like snap the fingers for them, okay, for any exchange to integrate Kaspa. They need to set up all this infrastructure. Also regulatory, they need to get regulatory approvals and stuff, and it's a more complicated thing than you imagine.
It's true, but I mean, the argument there goes back to when they started. They listed with perps how long ago? Over a year ago now. So they've had ample amount of time to get the funds and the people behind it to build it, and also with the regulations. Since Trump's come in, didn't he pass through, mention something about mined POW coins the other day? I'm sure of it. I'm sure I sent it back in our chat.
Yeah. No, but also it's their business. Okay. How to say? Kaspa would have a listing if Kaspa was that kind of project which had, for example, 500,000 in cash and was ready to give them, I don't know, a few percents of the total supply. Okay, they would list it tomorrow. Okay. But Kaspa is decentralized. There is no even central authority which can decide on such a deal. Okay, so it's out of the question.
Very true. That is very true. We'll give them a second chance, I suppose. No. Yeah. So sorry. Going on to Nacho. Like, honestly, guys, I know that's a big deal for you. Getting onto Gate, and it's just absolutely huge. So congratulations on that. I think it's well deserved, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Dennis. It's an exciting time for sure, and I know everyone in Nacho is very, very excited to see it. So we'll keep pushing forward, and I can't wait to tell you what those second and third dominoes look like.
Bloody teaser! I feel like we're at the Kickers Club.
Mate, he's tickling, mate. He's fucking tickling. Bro, Ashton, I can't wait to meet you. Honestly, we're gonna have a good pint.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so we also got something to drop. Chris, Ashton, and Crypto. I was gonna use Chris's accent, but I value my life. I'm not gonna piss off Crypto Pumps. With that said, we've all teamed up together to bring a monthly show with blockchain banter over on YouTube. Crypto Pumps is going to be hosting this, and we will be looking and analyzing all your posts, all your activity across socials, across everywhere, whether it's Kaspa or whatever you're into, and we'll be roasting the crap out of you, pretty much. The long story short, prepare to get roasted.
Yeah, you roast
It's
us.
so much fun. Sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you roast us, we'll roast you. We'll bring the banter.
It's our turn. It's our turn, right? How long? 43 weeks. We've been getting bashed. 43 weeks. We started with a mild thing between us, right? With the iPhone and Android. It was just little banter. Did not expect many of our audience to keep tagging us and dragging us into all these battles across the fucking social. It was awesome, to be honest. But now it's our turn. It's our turn. We're gonna be watching. We're gonna be analyzing, and we're gonna be roasting.
Boom, baby. We've done really well to milk the Android iPhone thing for so long. I mean, we even milked the pigeon thing for quite a long time, which is insane because pigeon's just, for me, normal meat, but apparently to Americans, not so much. But you learn something new every day. This is about being a global network, isn't it? And so it's some of the benefits of it. You can learn that Americans think eating pigeon is weird.
Facts.
But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to the show that we've got having every month with Crypto Pumps. I don't know if anyone's ever seen Crypto Pumps YouTube channel when he does AMAs and things like this. Such a good setup. It's really, really well done. So I'm looking forward to being on there and just getting roasted and roasting back. I think it'd be awesome. Sunday roast.
I love a good roast. It's gonna be fun.
There he is. There he is in all space. Where are you, bro? You heard Sunday roast. You shot up here. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good, yeah, man. Fuck you. Everybody's talking about eating cow, then I'm gonna be here. I was running down the stairs to get to this roast.
Oh, dear. It's going to be a good push, sure. So, have we got a date for that yet, Levendi? Actually,
Yeah, I think we've put it in the back end. It's a couple of weeks from now, the first episode over on YouTube, and I better start preparing my green screens. I can't have you all looking at and stuffing what I've got in my room. No. I need to get some green screens, I think.
Yeah, Levendi wears thongs, so
What do you mean?
he hangs them on dry, so he doesn't want you seeing.
I support entirely the green screen now that you've said that. Please get it.
Just to clarify, there are no thongs in my room or whatsoever. That's just Chris's imaginations or dreams. I don't know, but it's his own thing.
Oh, they're good.
Thongs is good, man. I wear them for speed.
Oh, God, how have we gone from speaking to Igra Labs about some really cool and awesome?
It's on the left, hasn't it? Bloody hell.
They stopped talking and we started talking. That's what happened,
Jesus.
if we're
Christ.
honest.
Yeah, that's it.
We're a very sophisticated bunch, and that.
I guess we got excited by the new show coming up every single month, and we started roasting early.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least we tried to stay half professional for about 2.5 hours. So, I'll say that's a record for us, actually. But yeah,
Oh,
so
man.
definitely.
Yeah, it's been a great space. Sorry. I've got to say that it's been an awesome show, and again, I appreciate everyone jumping up on the panel, guests and all from the audience members asking your questions as well. It's been awesome learning everything. I know some things were said in the previous space, but I've learned a hell of a lot more today, and I can't wait to have you guys back on the panel and dive deeper into everything else. I'm sure there was plenty of questions that we couldn't get through today because it was so much and so many stories.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be great to have you guys back again. Like I said, it's always great having you guys up here. And we do have plenty more questions to ask you. So, yeah, feel free to come back whenever you can. It would be great.
All right. Looking forward for that.
Yeah.
I always feel shit when they're on.
Hey, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I do. I feel shit because it's always, you feel like you know crypto. Everybody asks you about crypto, and you get these guys on for 2.5 hours, and it feels like you're just fucking playing crypto.
I embrace it. I learn more.
Yeah, exactly. This is where the learning comes from. I do get what you mean, though. Like, I think to myself, God, I've learned so much about crypto, and then like some serious has come on, and it just feels like you're chewing on crayons.
Yes,
So
exactly.
yeah, I get what you're saying, man. But yeah, it's all about the learning. And what's again great about it is there isn't any stupid questions because you guys always answer and even answer them in a way that we can actually understand, which is fantastic. And I think that's the beauty of Kaspa in general. People are always willing to reach out and help and answer questions that people have got. Answer questions that people have got. So yeah, it's just absolutely awesome. And like I said, it's always great having you guys on. So whenever you're free, always come back. It'd be great to have you on Blockchain Banter again. Awesome. So,
amazing.
Yeah, go on.
Go on, Chris. I was gonna say I was gonna do a little goodbye piece there, but go on, bro.
You do your goodbye piece first, and then I'll do my goodbye
Oh,
piece.
shut up. You do it first. No, I'll do it. Oh, shut up.
Yeah, no, you hang up.
My goodness me. All right, look. I was going to say thank you again, and it's been a pleasure. And I was going to ask a question to everybody, but I'd like you all to think about this question and give me an answer. I want to see how this experiment goes. It's basically the title of the space. Give me your thoughts. Does CAS have the power to replace fiat? Post it in the comments, in the DMs, or make your own post and tag me. Let me know your thoughts. I want to see where this goes.
It definitely does. It just needs people to realise what Kaspa can actually do for them as well. But it definitely would, 100%. And with that, again, massive thank you to all the speakers. Really, really appreciate it. Massive thank you to all the audience who've taken their time to come and listen to us speak. It's been great. It's been a great Spaces for sure. I've got to remember my little tagline now, Levendi. It is, we hope you came for the blockchain but stayed for the banter. Boom. That's me out, and massive thanks to all of you guys. Honestly, you're all legends, so thank you.
Amazing outro. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate your time as well, and good night from me, and see you next week, guys.
See ya. Bye.
Bye. See ya.
Bye, guys.